Authors Tell All, a podcast by Shy Soul. She's bringing you author interviews, book discussions, and more. Stay tuned.
Hello. We are back, and we are now here with author Tabitha. She is a author of many talents. She has so many wonderful books out, and she is here to tell you about all that. Hi, how are you doing?
I am so good. How are you?
I'm doing great on this lovely night. Now, as you know, if you haven't, she was on her live not too long ago, and she was speaking real facts. So that's something I want to ask her about, how she feels, and to let all you new authors out here, we want to give you some real stuff right now. She'll be talking about her books and how it is for her being an author and how she got started with this. So let's get into that. So what route do you want to go? Because this is all about you right now.
You tell me. Wherever you want me to start is where we'll start, and we'll just keep it moving.
Okay. First of all, I want to speak on your books. Okay?
Okay.
When did...
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask, when did you first get published? When did you first start writing? What was your motivation to even become an author? That's my first question.
That's a really good question. I have been writing since I was about 9 or 10 years old. My father passed away when I was about 6, and it made me just act out. I would just be acting really bad, like really, really bad. My behavior was off the wall. And my cousin came to me for my birthday one day, and she said, "Hey, I got you this journal." And on the front of the journal, it was like orange and peach, and it was striped, and it had this cute little girl on there with these like book with a black girl on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just, to me, was so interesting. And she was like, you know, whenever you're feeling sad, when you miss your dad, when you're upset, just write it down. Just write it all down. And one day, you know, when you get older, you can look back at this and realize that you don't feel the same way anymore. That the pain you feel right now is not the pain you'll feel then. And so I did. I kind of started writing down how it made me feel that he was never coming back. And that kind of changed into me writing stories where he was still alive, or where I could bring him back to life, or just always things with my dad. And as I got older, my love for writing grew because I was always a reader. I've been reading since I was about 5 years old. So the love for reading and writing just grew and it grew and it grew. And then when I got to high school, I was on the newspaper. When I got to college, I was on the magazine. And then it just, I wound up getting into a lot of trouble in life because I was a very troubled child. Not because I didn't have a lot of things, because I did. I just was a badass. I just didn't know how to act, really. And I wound up getting in a lot of trouble, going to jail all the time. And by that time, I had become a convicted felon. And I was like, well, who's going to hire me? Who's going to hire me now? So I had to learn to rely on those other gifts that I had. And luckily, writing was one of them. And so I wrote my first book in jail. And then when I came home, I kind of tidied it up a little bit. And then I got signed in 2015. And I've just been rolling since then.
Wow. Now, I did not know that at all. So that's a lot of inspiration to become an author, because you have a lot to say. Now, what you said about, you know, getting your first notebook and writing at 9, same with me. I started writing when I was 10, actually. I started with writing poetry. How I started writing poetry at 10 and, you know, rhyming and little things like that. Like you said, you loved reading. I did too. Very, very smart little girl, and just a little nerdy, and just loved reading and drawing and all of that. So me, I didn't see myself where I would be now. I didn't think that I would be an author. I thought I would be an artist, which I am. Would be an artist, you know, just doing that. That was just going to be what I love to do. Designing, drawing, just that. I didn't think that the writing factor would come out of me until I turned 16. You know, I was writing all my stuff down in notebooks and still have those notebooks till today. So a friend of mine, just like you said, a cousin of yours gave you a notebook, you know, to write down everything that you was thinking of, and, you know, come up with little things. A little associate of mine, she seen that I was always writing and everything. And she was like, you know, can I read one of your stories? I was like, yeah, sure. I really don't care, right? Because I really never thought anything of it. So she came back to me the next day and handed me back my notebook with like this look on her face. I was like, what's wrong? I said, was it bad? She said, no. It was just that good that I finished it all last night. I didn't do my homework because of you, so you're going to have to tell me with that next period. She said, I really just loved the story. She said, how did you come up with that? I said, I don't know. I just had a lot of stuff that I was thinking about, and I just turned it into a story. So she said, why don't you, you know, sign up for Wattpad? That, I always say this because that is where I started. Wattpad is what got my brand started. That is what got me out there, period. Was that it was different back then, but now it's changed. But it was different back then, and yeah, I still have those readers, those loyal readers till today. And the girl that told me to sign up for that, she still reads my books till today.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, she's a big fan. A
lifelong fan.
Mm-hmm. She read that story with my little scratched out, white out and everything. She said, this is a great story. I end up revamping that story and putting it on Wattpad, and I was like, just because she liked it, ain't nobody else gonna like it, right? That's how I felt. I was like, what am I doing? And then the moment I uploaded the first chapter, and then after that, and so on and so forth, it just gravitated, and everybody was like, wow, where have you been? Who is she? And I had a different pen name and everything. The pen name was so corny. It was so corny. I never showed my face. You know, I was that anonymous author. They was like, we want to know who she is. This book is great. You know, I did it from my town and did the characters that I based the character off myself, but, you know, changed it up a little bit. And I that story is still embedded in me because that's where I started. you know? So I'm glad that we connect in that way. So I'm glad we connect in that way, you know? So to the fact that you had that revelation, you know, and you still kept writing as a part of you, I love that. That means you have a more than one story to tell. I can see that your stories.
I have many stories to tell. Every time I close my eyes, I feel like a new story is on the brink of forming. But you know, they say the mind of a writer is very disturbed.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we can come up with some, even if it is just like a romance. Sometimes you have to be heartbroken to write a good romance.
And that's crazy because my dad, right, when he was like, "What are you doing?" Right? I said, "I'm writing." He said, "You're writing." He said, "You're writing and you're drawing." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Let me read to you what I wrote." So I read. He was like, "Well, stop." He said, "Who you been talking to? Who broke your heart?" I want to know. I said, "Nobody, Dad." I said, "Nobody. This is just coming just from the heart." He said, "That's what I taught you." He said, "You're the sweetest person that I know. So for you to write that, I see where that can come from." He said, "You don't necessarily have to have a broken heart to write a story like that," because he says, "I know you're a very sensitive and emotional person. So for you to bring up those emotions, you know, then yeah." And some of my sad emotions come from when I lost my Nana. When I lost her, that's when I really, really started, you know, writing more and really focusing on my drawing more, because it was like more heightened, because she really believed in that, because my dad drew and everything. So she was always saying, "Oh, she's going to be a talented young lady. She's going to be doing something. She's always moving around. She's always on her schoolwork. Something is going to make her drive more." And that's what made me drive more into everything that I did, because I wanted to prove her right most of all. So I know she's proud of me now, because she was the main one who said, "Oh, she's gonna be something. She may be 6 now, but she's gonna be something." Every little thing she's seen me do, she always said that. So the fact that she can't be here now to read those stories, I know somehow she's reading the stories because she sees me write them every day.
Absolutely. She's always there with you.
Yep. So I use that emotion to write a emotional book. And when I did that for the first time with the story, I cried. I was like, wow, I actually pulled that out of me. So yeah. So I'm glad that we got that little connection.
Yes, girl. You know.
So besides that, what is the juiciest story you have ever written?
Oh my. Juiciest. I don't know if I have the juiciest. I think it's probably Cocaine and Lexi, just because it has so many different elements. It has a mistaken father identity kind of situation. It has a lot of love. It has a lot of heartbreak. It has a lot of drama. It has a lot of secret. It has a lot of history.
I kind of figured. I kind of figured you was gonna say that one, because I'm looking at that book right now on my phone. I said she gonna say something about that, because when I seen that, I was like, that's what made me. I don't know which one followed who, but it was probably me, because I was like, when I seen that, I said, I need to read this, and I have read it. And I was like, this is a good book. Oh my, I'm telling you, I say this to all the authors. I have read a snippet, this, that, or the whole book. I have read some of your work, like some in everyone's work. I have read it because I'm an avid reader. You know, I love reading and I love writing, so I'm going to read something that you have created, even if you don't know it. Shy has read it. And I just got to say, I'm definitely going to bring this up. I created her. Well, actually, let's go back a little bit. I created a cover, and she was the first one to be like, "Oh, I want this." Was in my inbox 2.5 seconds later, and she was like, "I want this cover." and she had me recreate it. Now, this story is hot. It's new. It's fresh. And it's a 5-star read. It's a 5-star read. Off the board, 5 stars. So I want you to talk about that one, since that is your newest published book.
So, Nailed by a Queen Pen is legitimately, I go to the nail shop all the time. I love being in the nail shop. I love the vibe. I love the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I just love being around other women who like to keep themselves up and who like to pamper themselves. It's just something about those kind of women I just like being around. And my nail tech, his name is Promise B. Every time I go see Promise, he always makes me laugh. He makes me feel good. He makes me feel like I'm the only person in the shop, even if I'm not. But even though we have a good experience, sometimes there are a lot of people in the nail shop who are not having a good day, who have just come off of work and they've come to get their nails done and they're in a bad mood, or they're gossiping, or they bring their drama with them. They bring their busted down baby daddies. There's a lot of things going on in the nail shop that people don't pay attention to. Mm-hmm. But as a writer, I see everything. I hear everything. Anything somebody tells me, it always inspires me. So I was just sitting there getting my nails done, and the girl whose station is beside Promise's station, she was just kind of being naggy a little bit, and I kind of started laughing, and I said, Promise, let me find out. I need to write a book about the nail shop. And he was like, girl, I totally support that. And I was like, okay, don't play with me now, Promise. And literally while he was sitting there putting the powder on my nails, and I just came up with the storyline. Like, my mind just started roaming. Mm-hmm. And I thought about how cool it would be to have a story about women in the nail shop. So often we hear about women in the beauty shop all the time getting their hair done. We read so many books where the females are getting their hair done, somebody's in there messing with somebody's baby daddy or something, but you never get to hear about the nail shop.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So I really wanted to shine light on that, and on top of that, because the nail shop I go to is a black-owned business, I really just wanted to kind of pay homage to that.
Yeah, and when you told me about the book and everything, I was like, she wants me to design. I'm like, what? I've never designed a cover like that. So I was thinking, because my mind goes outside the box. You've seen all of my covers. So my mind is always running on something different. But I've never done anything like that. So when she hit me with I wanted bright colors and everything, I was looking up different backgrounds, a nail shop background. I was like, maybe I can create the background. I was like, wait a minute. I have the perfect thing for her. Let me put a brick pink wall, some nails, the spilt out nail polish. That's what I was thinking. Like, this is drama, so let me give it that little drama. And she was like, I love it. I was like, wow. I actually nailed that cover.
You nailed the nail. Mm-hmm. You nailed by Queen Pen. You definitely did. As soon as I saw it after you brightened it up, I was like, this is the one. This is what we're going to go with. This is wonderful. You did a great job.
Thank you. And, I was actually thinking, like, should I, like, brighten up their outfits? I was like, no, she didn't say anything about that. She want that vibrance to it. So I said, I'm going to give her that.
I still wanted the sex appeal,
mm-hmm.
but I definitely still wanted it to be feminine. I wanted to give off that we're bosses, but we also girly too.
Exactly. And I gravitated towards the story and especially the title because I love getting my nails done too. And the story, I instantly kind of thought of Claws, that TV show. And I was like, if she's writing a story, not similar to that, but a story with that concept with the nail shop, I said that's going to be a good book. Because you get the books of the ladies owning the hair salons and stuff and the drama that goes on in there, like you said. What about the drama with the nail shop? Because you're going to still have the same thing, the gossiping, gossip goes wherever.
Yes, gossip is never ending.
Yep.
And a lot of people thought that the show would be similar, the book would be similar to Claws, and I was like, I love Claws. It's one of my favorite shows. But I was like, I don't want to do this about money laundering. I don't want to do this about, I don't want characters like Roller and characters like Desna and things like that. I want this to be, because even when I watch Claws, I feel like this is not a nail shop I would go to. Because it's ratchet.
Mm-hmm.
It's real ratchet. Now, don't get me wrong, they do great nails, but you be ratchet in there. And my nail shop, even though it is in the hood, it's kind of like it's like a bougie ghetto nail shop.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the outside it's in the hood, but on the inside it's like luxury.
Right. I like it.
I love that atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. I like it. So, moving forward, what can you tell us about what being an author, what have you been going through with like different changes in your writing or different publishing companies or anything like that? What can you tell us about that? If you don't want to get into too much detail, you don't have to.
I mean, I can say a million things about it. I think for every author, I can't say we all have the same journey because some people's journeys turn out luckier than others, but I think that mine has always been a very up and down kind of. I've had a very up and down career. When I first started 3 years ago, I honestly didn't see myself writing more than one book. I said, you know what, I'm going to write this one book and just put it out there because I've got this one story to tell and I think it's bomb and we'll see what happens. But I wound up signing a 6-book contract. I was like, well, I guess I better come up with some more stories. Mm-hmm. And I was signed and it just was not a good situation for me. And so I started self-publishing. But when I started self-publishing back then, I didn't know anything about the industry. I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I just knew everything. And I didn't really know shit, just to be honest. So I had to kind of switch it up, and I had to get into a different gear and figure out how I could become more successful. So then I signed again. And I said, okay, this time I'm going to really just try to study and research and pay attention to what's going on around me so that I can grow and develop and give more than what I'm giving myself. I want to be able to get more out of the experience. And I did. I just started paying more attention, and I started networking with different kinds of people, started meeting other people, and I started kind of having a little success. And then I hit a down slope, and then I came back up. And so now I'm at a point where I'm just like, I want to succeed, but I also want to help others. Mm-hmm. I want to help others through my experiences. I want to help them because when I came in, I had no one to help me. No one held my hand. No one said, hey, Tabitha, if you just do this. Most of the things I know is because I had to figure them out on my own. And I see so many authors just wandering around like lonely zombies, and I just want to help them. So I feel like now where I am in my career, I have a little more freedom than I had before. Mm-hmm. Before, I felt extremely pressured to put out a certain amount of books this way, do them like this, blah blah. But now I feel like I've got some of that freedom back now that I know a few more things than I knew before.
Right, exactly. And, I had said in your live, I said, I made sure, because, of course, I'm young, and my parents wasn't going to just have me, especially sign something that was going to have me really locked in a contract for years and not even knowing, because that can happen. It has happened, I've seen it happen. I've asked people, before I even signed a contract or anything. And I did my research, really did my research into companies and what authors have been through and everything like that, right? So an author told me, he was like, what's your contract? I said, I have a 6-book contract. He said, what? A 6-book contract? Why would you sign that? I said, because I'm not like most authors. I really, really love writing. Like, I'm really into it. And another thing is I have more than 6 books that are ready for me to publish anytime I want to. So a 6-book contract is nothing to me. And plus I have endless stories that I want to tell anyway. That's not hard for me at all. He was like, well, that's dumb. I said, we're 2 different authors, And it turns out, not being rude or anything, turns out that his contract, he was saying that because his contract was just terrible. He ended up signing a contract that was no good for him. And he's still stuck in it. I was like, I did my research. And I made sure that that wasn't going to happen to me. You know, he's beefing it out and everything. I'm like, that's no good. Now you're doing that when all you should be doing is just writing your books and making your money like you're supposed to, not worrying about trying to get out of a contract and with a company that you're not loving anymore.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. You know, sometimes it can be a love-hate relationship with your company because, especially with new authors. I see a lot of new authors who they get to these contracts and then they're miserable because they don't have the stamina to kind of endure what is to come. You know, you say to yourself, I've written this book, I hope people like it. You start to compare yourself or contrast yourself and say, well, my book is kind of like this person's, or my book is not quite like this person's. And then you let the doubt settle in, and so then you manage your publisher because you're like, oh, maybe you could be doing more. When really, when you're a new author, you just need to, I'm not going to say you just need to write, but you need to write. But also, before your book even comes out, just get out there and network with people. You need to be communicating with people. Let people know, hey, I have a book that's about to come out, and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Because you'd be surprised how many people on your Facebook page still don't know you're an author.
Right.
It's something that you have to constantly do. It's not something that ever stops. Unless you're making billions of dollars, there are people who don't know that you're an author. So you need to constantly be telling people
Mm-hmm.
that. And whenever I see authors making posts that have nothing to do with their books, I'm just like, okay, that's cool. It's okay to make funny posts. It's okay to, do things like that. But you need to be constantly talking about that brand until you can eat without your brand. Until you can go sit down somewhere without having to mention it to make money.
Exactly. And that was me at a point, because I was the shy person. And I was like, I don't know if I should, comment on certain things or message certain authors. Because, I was just shy. That pretty much that's why that's my author name. So that was just me until I figured it out. Like, me being this quiet and just sharing the book and not really engaging and doing stuff like that is going to get me nowhere. So I really got tough on myself and just did different things that I wouldn't normally do. And that really broke my shell. So I just kept doing that and just branding myself and figuring out other ways to promote myself, figuring out other ways to make my name better each day, each week, each month. Figure out a way how to make my logo more eye-catching when you run past it, not just going to scroll past and be like, oh, who is this? And then click on that name, like, oh, okay, she does books, she does this, she does that. So I just made sure that I'm not going to be the quiet one anymore. I'm still quiet, but not as I used to be.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to come out of that shell so that people can see you. Because, people think, oh, the cover will sell. No, that's not true. A lot of times, it takes more than that. It takes people seeing you. I always say, whenever people ask me, Tabitha, what do you think people know you for? I'd like to believe it's my transparency.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very transparent person. I'm very open. I will literally tell you just about anything about myself. So I think that is something that people know me and recognize me by. So I think that it's important for authors to find something that people can recognize them by other than just their book. If you take away the book, who are you?
Right. I made sure that people got to know Shy Soul. Like they got to know me and who is the person that's writing these books. Like, who is she? That's why I made sure to post my bio and this, that, and the other so they know of me. I'm still that author, like, oh, don't nobody know me. But I have authors come and be like, I've had this, that, and the author recommend me, and they're telling me about your books, your covers, your this, your that. So they know who you are and your name. So stop saying nobody knows you, right? Because now you have, right now I have over 1,000 Facebook friends that actually share my stuff. At first I wasn't getting no shares, because I was just too quiet. I wasn't engaging. I wasn't doing this, that, and the other. Like you said, authors not posting about their books or anything. I was the person who just posted about it. You will see that all down my timeline, like never ending. I never posted about drama. I still don't. I still won't. That's just not me. I won't post about. I'll post something funny, but if you really pay attention to it, it's still connected to my book in some way, shape, or form. It's connected to my book.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It's important to build that brand and to let people know who you are. I believe in first impression. First impression stays loudly. And so this is someone's first time seeing you. You want that first time to be the best time. Mm-hmm. You don't want them to see your page and be like, oh, Lord, I had to get off their page. You want them to see the page and be like, this is the one. I like this. Let me double back around to you. And I feel so sad for others who feel like people don't see them because you're not invisible. Mm-hmm. You're not invisible. It's just we work in a very trendy environment where people only want to talk about people who are constantly being talked about. There are people who do know you. They just keep it to themselves.
Exactly.
Because they rather circulate with the people who are talking about the bigger names. And it's really sad because there are lots of amazing authors who don't have that clout behind them, but they're still amazing. They can still tell an amazing story.
Mm-hmm. And I've had my readers who are with me for 4 years, and they said, why did you wait so long to, get your books published on Amazon? I said, because I was preparing myself for the industry I was getting into. The urban industry is just not for anyone to just come into. This industry can eat you up and spit you out. It's just like that. The readers, if they're not messing with you like that. It's just that way. You have to be on, sometimes you have to be on trend. You have to be on trend with covers and this, that, and the other. Because some readers, I don't like trying new authors. And the story could be amazing. Amazing. And I don't try new authors. I don't know about that, right? It's just how. Mm-hmm. So I said I made sure I mentally prepared myself for what I was getting into. And I wish a lot of other authors would think that way too. Now, the drama side of the urban industry, I always ask about this, and I ask every author, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about this urban writing industry? Like, what does it do for you? Of course, what it does for you, but how does it actually make you feel to see certain things go down that shouldn't?
Sometimes it kind of makes me sick just because we all have the same goals. We all have the same aspirations and the same talent. And it's annoying because the drama sometimes only occurs to sell books. And other times it's so someone will see them. It's just like high school all over again. Yep. And I sometimes wonder, y'all must have not been popular in high school. Y'all must have got bullied because now y'all want to come through and bulldoze everybody that you come into contact with. But growing up, my big sister, I would always tell people that if you do something to me, my big sister is coming behind me. My sister, she's always been my own personal pit bull. Mm-hmm. So I never really, if somebody tried to bully me, she would always kill it. She would always make sure that it didn't happen. But in doing so, she taught me how to defend myself and make sure that I knew that it's not okay to let people bully me. And so now when I see certain people getting bullied, I feel bad for them because they don't know how to handle the pressure. Or I feel bad for the weak-minded people who bandwagon, who don't know how to say, this don't have nothing to do with me, let me go about my business. or people who feel like they have to pick a side. It's okay to be neutral. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm going to mind my business and live to write another day. But everybody wants to be popular in a popular genre.
Right.
And that just doesn't work.
Exactly. And like you
Everybody
said,
wants to be too much.
yeah, and like you said, maybe some of them got bullied or wasn't popular. I was one of those. I was a girl who was not popular and in middle school got bullied, but I always stood up for myself. Nobody was going to run over me. That was not happening. But you do not see me ever posting anything dramaful, rude, or anything like that because I'm not that type of person. Nobody's going to turn me into a bad soul. It's just not going to happen. If I need to speak up on something that I feel that needs to be spoke up on and I need to tell it how it is or just let somebody know, I'm going to let you know. And then you're going to get blocked because you don't want to have the meanest side of me come out because you want to see that. That's not going to happen. I'm just going to smile and be like, I'm living my best life. That's it. That's all. You're blocked.
Absolutely.
And going to move on. And yes, and keep writing my books, and that's it. That's that. I'm not going to have a dramaful comment or post on my page, and when people come like, oh, what did this happen? Or author like, oh, yeah, I'm going to unfriend her because... No. If you unfriend me because of something else, I don't know. I mean... What does Shy do for anyone to want to say anything bad about her or anything like that? Nothing. It's just that you're a bad person inside. And then that's what I just see. You may write the best books in the world, but you're just not a good person.
And sometimes that's how it is. There are a lot of people in this industry that are not good people, but it's not because they're mean or because they're bullies. It's because they're broken. Something inside of them broke a long time ago, probably as a child, and they haven't learned how to get over it. A lot of people are greedy, and they don't realize there's enough for everyone. But even though I say that there's enough for everyone, honestly, sometimes there's not, because the industry is so oversaturated with so many authors, and there are so many books, but everyone's book's not going to get read. You know, when I see, I always say this, and I hope this doesn't sound terrible, but, you know, there are always people who are saying, if you just keep at it, you'll make it. That's not true. It takes more than just endurance and persistence. It takes a willingness to change. You have to change as the industry changes, or else you'll be left behind. It's the same way with music. In the 90s, in the early 2000s, I was bopping Ja Rule like he was my baby daddy. It's 2018. Ja Rule cannot still do that for me. Aaliyah, she was an amazing woman, amazing singer, amazing actress. But in 2018, if she was still alive, she could not hang with Beyonce. And I don't even particularly care for Beyonce, but I can speak facts. I know the truth.
Right.
So it's the same thing. You have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to adapt. You have to be willing to grow. The same thing you was writing last year may not be the same way you need to write it this year. I've had to change my writing style plenty of times just to be able to accommodate what my readers like. Now, that doesn't mean I let them dictate to me what I write, because I don't. I just write what I want, but I write it in a way that will make us both happy. In a way that says, hey, Tabitha, I still want to read this book, but in a way that also says, hey, Tabitha, you've made yourself feel good.
Right.
You have to find a happy medium, a happy balance.
Exactly. I applaud. I'm about to give you an applaud right now. Because that is true facts about everything you said, because you have to adapt. I would adapt because I've told my publisher that I want to do more than just one genre. I want to write action, which I do. I already write drama. I already write romance. I want to write paranormal. I want to write crime. You know, I already have those things lined up. I even want to write, and I will write an interracial story. I want to do all of that. You know, of course, it's going to be some readers going to be like, I'm just going to stick with these books by Shy. But it's going to be other readers going to be like, I love all of them, or I love this one or that one. You know, everybody is not going to like your work. That's true. But it's going to be some who do. And I'm going to keep striving to do the best. You know, never overwork yourself. But me, I'm always working 24/7. And I never get tired. Maybe it's because I'm young and it'll catch up with me soon. But until then, I'm going to be working my behind off.
It will catch up with you. So I say pace yourself. Because eventually, not only will it catch up with you physically, but it will also mentally and emotionally. You'll start to drain yourself thinking, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. And then you'll get to that place, and then you'll be so worn out, you'll need a break. And then once you've taken that break, it's hard to come back from it. It's really hard to come back and say, it's just like when you go on vacation, you know? You go to the Bahamas or something, you get to swim with the dolphins and stuff, and you out there living your best life. And then, you know, Monday morning is coming. So eventually when Monday comes, you're going to have to go back to work.
Exactly.
And that first week you get back to work, you're groggy because it's like, oh my God, I was just living my best life. Now I'm miserable. So just pace yourself and make goals for yourself. And don't be afraid to, if you don't make all of those goals, as long as God gives you breath to live another day, you have time.
And you know, I do take my little breaks after, because I'm writing 2 stories, and you know, I have other bookings that I do, and plus I do my show. This is what I do. I was doing a show every Friday, every weekend, or if an author needed a certain date, they would get that. So I was having a show every week, mostly. And then I took my break. You know, I took my break, was focuses on little things here and there. And then I came back to it. And, you know, people still want to be on the show and everything. So I'm like, okay, cool. So after that, I will take me another break. My publisher knows after I publish these 2 books, I'm going to be silently writing and take a little break. With my graphic design, I'm going to go on a little hiatus and take a little break. And then come back to it. You know, I'm still young and I'm in school. So I'm pacing myself for sure, because I'm still at home with my parents, a college student. And they see what I do, especially my dad. He'd be on me. He'd be like, you know, why don't you just finish that last edit and you come in here with me and we'll just relax, put on a movie, order your favorite food. There we go. And that's what I do. Because he'll even stay up with me till 4 a.m. Be like, okay, now really? I'll be like, yeah. This is what I do. He knows. He'll pop up in my room and see me at my desk and see me writing everything. Like, what you doing right now? Oh, I'm doing this. And plus, I'm a gamer. So I do take my breaks. My friend Ashley, she knows this. If she's listening to this right now, she's going to be like, yeah, every time I call her, she's on her game taking her break. And then hours later, she'll text me and be like, oh, I'm writing. Yeah, so I do make sure I'm taking care of myself.
Good, because if you don't, your brain will give out, your body will give out, your emotions will eventually give way. So I'm very glad that at a young age you know to take a break when you're tired.
Yep, and especially when I start my semester next year, all of my schedule, my sleep schedule is going to go back to going to sleep at 9, 10 o'clock. Up for school, and then the weekends and everything. I'm going to fit in my writing. My school is always going to come first. My work come first too, but school and graduating and getting my degree, that's going to come first at this point, you know. So pacing myself and everything like that, that's definitely going to slow down more to incorporate school. But I'm still going to be working.
I can't even imagine going to bed at 9 o'clock. That's just so early.
No,
I'm amazed. I can't really. If I go to bed at 9 o'clock, it's because I've been up for 24 hours, or I've been up for a very, very, very long time already. But going to bed at 9 o'clock, oh man, that is a blessing.
And I'm a night owl. I'm a night owl for sure. I'm not a morning person. Ooh, it's hell waking me up in the morning. Because I give you the most evil look, like, you better get up out of my room and leave me alone, let me sleep. I will sleep the whole day. That's just how I am. Being up at night, I just like being up at night. That's just me. But if I needed to get my rest and be like, okay, it's time for me to just go to bed, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
I mostly always stay up at night. But I mostly always just stay up, period, at any time of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a night owl, but I also love the morning. Something about when the sun first comes up, it makes me feel so good. My wife, she works, well, always, she works 12 hours a day. So normally, no matter what time she goes to work, if she goes to work at 6 p.m. or if she goes to work at 6 a.m., I normally don't miss the sun coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, but that also lets me know when it's time to go to bed. When I finally see the sun come up, I'm like, okay, I gotta go to sleep. It's a whole new day. I gotta go to bed.
Right. And me, how I know how to set up my schedule, especially when I start school, I will come straight home, get that work out of the way, study, and then write. Use the rest of my time in my day to write, work on covers or whatever else I have to do, and just start my day over. And then when I get my break from school, it's going to be staying up late, doing whatever I have to do. And that's all about it, because my business is my job. My writing is my job. My podcast is my job. So I already know how to balance myself. I'm never going to let anything just take over the other. And I wish a lot of people would be that way too.
I just think that a lot of people, they just don't have anyone to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have anyone to say, hey, why don't you do this instead of doing this? They don't have anyone to teach them how to prioritize, because unfortunately, especially in this generation, I'm learning that a lot of children, they don't know how to prioritize. They don't know how to make goals for themselves. They don't know how to prepare for the future.
Mm-hmm.
They can't see the bigger picture. They just see the today. They see what's happening right now.
Right. That's true. That's very true. Like my cousin, right? She just started college and everything, and in high school she was into sports and everything. And I always checked up on her all the time. And I was like, "Are you gonna go for a scholarship in sports?" Because she was like, "No, I did that in high school. I don't want to do that anymore." I said, "So where are you gonna go to school for?" She said, "I want to be a physical therapist." I said, "Okay, that's nice. But what are your goals?" I said, "You know the kind of big cousin I am. You're like my little sister. I'm going to ask you these questions. So what are your goals?" She was like, "Oh, come on." I'm like, I don't want to hear that. What are your goals? Are you going to be on honor roll? What are you going to do? Are you going to be in clubs? Little things like that is really going to help you. So what are you going to do? She was like, "Okay, I'm going to do this, that, and the other." I said, "Okay. So since it was so hard for you to tell me that, are you going to be the type that's going to go to all the parties and do that and drink and everything?" Yeah, I said, "Yeah, I want to know, because if it was so hard for you to tell me some goals for college, it's going to be really easy for you to tell me what you want to do party-wise and everything like that." She said,
You already know where you want to go.
Yep. She said, "Why'd you hit me with that?" I said, "Because you know exactly who I am and what I'm going to ask you. You should already know that." She was like, "Yeah, that's true." And she was like, what I really want to do is, she was like, "I really look up to you and I really want to be on your level, because you're in school and she was like, you have your own business, and I always tell my mom that I want to be just like you, because she's the only child." Yeah, she's the only child, and she's like, "You're my sister, honestly, and I really look up to you. So everything you do is everything I want to do. So that's my answer to your question. Now, can you hush and leave me alone?" I'm like, I'll let you slide this one since you want to be all sweet. But yeah, I'm that very caring person. Always.
That's beautiful. You can someone to look up to you, let you know you might not be doing everything wrong.
Yeah. And another thing, when she sees me post about my book, she's like, "Yeah, I already told my mom. I already told everybody. My dad knows this, that, and the other." Half of her family already knew that I had my own business. I'm like, I come down there, I'm like, oh, I'm about to get bombarded with a whole bunch of questions. I wish I would have had my book when I came down. That's what I kept saying. Like, dang it, why didn't I have me a pickback? Why didn't I have my business card?
I gave y'all the book and y'all have to ask me 1,000 questions.
Exactly. I'm like, why I didn't have the business cards, nothing like that. Come on now.
That's usually when you don't have them, when you need them the most.
Yep. So I made sure I ordered me some books. I'm gonna have all my stuff ready. Have it right in my mom's trunk. Like, Ma, I already told my mom. I said, Ma, you go to work and them ladies ask about me. All you gotta do is whip out the book. She was like, really? I said, that's all you gotta do.
Pop the trunk.
Right. Pull out the book. Mm-hmm. You know the drill, Mom. Them ladies love me. Right. They love me. They gon' give you the money without you even having. You already know how they feel about me. Just go and do it. Go. Yeah, my mom, she loves reading and everything. So when I told her I wanted to be a writer, she was like, I already saw it. With your papers and everything. She was like, I already
knew.
Yep, she said, I already knew. Point blank period. I already knew. I was like, well, you could have told me. She was like, I wasn't going to tell you nothing. I was going to let you figure it out for yourself, and you did. So there you go, I said.
My mom was very surprised because my entire life I wanted to be either a dentist or a teacher. So when I said I was going to be a writer, my mom was like, you've always been blessed with the gift. I just thought you were going to go in the opposite direction. And for a while I was going to be a dentist. I was going to be a teacher. But then when I went to college, before I got to college, I realized I was not going to be able to be a dentist because science has never been my subject. So I was like, dentist, that's out the way. And then when I went to college and the classes, I was like, there's just no way I'm just not going to be able to be a teacher because I'm not going to be able to make it through these classes. I'm not going to be able to sit here and listen to these lectures, and it's just, oh God, I just knew I couldn't do it. And so I did. Eventually, I knew I was going to have to come up with some sort of backup plan, but my backup plan was never even a plan. It was something that just fell into my lap. I believe everything happens for a reason, and my life, I feel like my entire life, has been leading me to this moment.
Right. And my dad, now he was the one that was surprised because, like I had said earlier, I was into art, a lot of designing. At first, I wanted to be a fashion designer, so that's what a lot of my drawing kind of went into. And when I told him, I said, Dad, I love writing, and I'm gonna sign the contract, and I'm gonna get my first book published. He kind of like just snapped his head back. I was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, I believe in it. Go ahead and do it. If you feel like it's the right time, go ahead, because all you do now is you write 24/7 and you design on your computer and your iPad and you draw. You doing everything equal, but this is something I see you really fell into. He's like, so go for it.
This was not just a hobby.
Right. He was like, I kind of felt it, but he said, I'm surprised the most. He said, I'm very surprised. I did not know that you was going to pick that as your career choice. Because at first I was going to go to I still am. I'm not putting my art off at all because I love that too.
Okay.
I really love that too. So after college and everything, I'm going to the Art Institute.
That's beautiful because I can't draw to save my life or color. I can't stay inside the lines.
I've heard that so much. But it's so easy and it's so common. It just takes the patience to do it. But
perhaps I don't have the patience. I'm going to just say that maybe that's what it is. Every time I have to color something, I just want to just die. Because I can't seem to. But then, too, I feel like, and this could be because of all the typing I've done over the years, my hands shake really bad whenever if I'm about to do something like when I'm handwriting something, oh my God, my hand starts to tremble. So I don't have that same strength, I guess you could say, built up. When you're younger, you use pencils, you write with pencils, you learn to handwrite everything. Then technology comes into play and you get kind of lazy. So I think that could be what it is. Ever since I've been able to use a laptop, I've used one.
And another thing is there's always the digital art that you can learn how to do on the computer. You don't necessarily have to use the pencil or anything like that, or a stylus. You can use your mouse and learn how to do it on Illustrator and create some really, really, really nice work. I mean, when I learned how to do Illustrator, I'm going to just tell y'all right now, I sucked at it. Even though I knew how to draw, it was just learning. Yeah, it was just learning how to draw with a mouse, because I was so used to drawing with a pen, a pencil, and everything like that. So, with the mouse, I had to know how to click and drag and hit the points just right. Because if you mess up a point on that, it's going to be messed up. It's just going to be full messed up. Then you're going to have to go back to each layer and fix it. And, so when I learned how to do it...
Let me find out. I need to go to this digital art and see if I can get something moving. But I honestly don't think I have the eye for it. My wife, she's actually a painter, or she used to be a painter. And she has just like a keen eye for colors, like to the T. She's one of those people, she can tell you if your outfit matches without even really looking in your direction, because the colors just speak to her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that talent.
Exactly.
I'm talented with my words, but when it gets to real artsy stuff, oh no, you can just go ahead and sleep on me. Now, I do love going to art museums and art galleries and things like that, because I can appreciate it. I just cannot do it.
Right. And another thing, when I took my first digital art class in high school, and I was using Illustrator for the first time, I was like, what is this bullshit? That's exactly how I felt as a freshman. I'm like, I hate it. I told my teacher, I'm a very artsy person, but I was like, this is hard for me. She said, you know what? It's not hard for you. It's just that you're trying to put it off, right? When she said that, I said, oh no. I never try to put off anything art because I love it. So when we had a project we had to draw letters, actual letters and symbols in the alphabet as our face. Yeah. So, doing now Illustrator, you have to draw the letter, you have to manipulate it to your face, every point in your face. So when I did that, she said, see, you picked up on it just that quick. And I was the only one in my class who did not complain about that project and got that project in an art show.
Well, first of all, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Had that been me, I would have been creating a new alphabet and numeric system just to somehow form my face.
Right.
So that's amazing. Because I couldn't, again, I'm talented with words. I'm crafty when it comes to the pen. Give me a crayon, oh, I gotta go to bed. I can't with the crayon, can't with the marker, can't with the paintbrush. I'm just not good at it. Mm-hmm. Most of my talents come with things that are wordy. Like now that I'm much older, I'm almost 30, I realize now that I really could have been a good therapist.
Right. Yeah.
I could have been an amazing therapist. But I hate school. I'm not going to say I hate school. I actually love school. I hate teachers.
Oh, you wouldn't like me in high school. I wasn't a teacher's pet, but just all the teachers kind of gravitated towards me because I was always the one who was answering the questions and asking questions and,
Well, no, see, I would have loved you. I was that kid in school that I pretty much, I loved the atmosphere of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, high school was the place to be.
Right.
When I was in high school, I was a queen. Literally. I was very popular. But I hung out with everybody. I wasn't popular in the sense of, like, oh, that's Tabitha, blah, blah, blah. I was popular in the sense of a lot of people knew me. I knew a lot of people. My mom taught at my high school. My sister was senior class president when I got there. So I knew a lot of different kinds of people. So I moved around in a lot of different circles. The same way I do now. Mm-hmm. I know lots of people in the industry. I know lots of different kinds of people. I know people who have 2 books. I know people who have 90 books. I know people who are signed, people who are not signed. I know people who make a lot of money, people who don't make any money. I know lots of kinds of people, but I prefer it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I like having a diverse group of people around me.
Right, exactly. And that's exactly how I was too. A lot of people did gravitate towards me. I just kept to myself, you know. I was just the girl that a lot of people loved and a lot of people just loved to hate. And I still don't know why. I was the one who never talked about anybody or anything like that. But once you got in my face, oh, that was a wrap. The attitude would just click on way too fast. And I put that in my books a lot with some female characters. Because they're like a version of me. Or who I strive to be. Or who I would just never be. You know? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I was just telling a new author yesterday. She's fairly new. And she was just kind of talking to me about the kind of books that she wants to write, but her publisher won't let her write them. And I told her, I was like, you know, you have to be willing to change sometimes. Not to necessarily make money, but so that you can get your name out there. And she was saying that she only can write a certain type of character because she can't see past that because she's modeled her characters after herself. And I said, the funny thing about reading and writing, readers read to escape.
Exactly.
But we write to escape. We write to go somewhere else. Most of my characters, they are, I mean, even my male characters, they are like me. But a lot of them are people I could never be. They do things I could never do. They say things I would never say. They eat foods I would be too chicken to try. They have sex in places there's no way I would. They do all kinds of things, but it's the overall book is for everyone to go somewhere else.
Right.
It's for everyone's mental, so that that's just like when you read a romance. You want to fall in love. You want to feel that overwhelming sense of love. When you read a thriller, you want to be scared. You want to be like, oh my God, I hope this doesn't happen. If you read an action movie, or if you read an action book, you want to feel like you're about to flip over 50-feet buildings, you know? You want to be that character. Write about who you want to be, not who you are. Sometimes it has nothing to do with who you are, but who you want to be.
Right. And here is our final points. This is the time where you get to make your shout outs and, you know, shout out your books, anything you want to. So, here you go.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I have any shout outs, but I love the support I've been seeing lately. I started that new group for the underrated authors, and they are really in there making moves. Like, they're really in there networking. So I'm just so proud of all of them for coming together and for putting a lot of their differences aside just to join forces. I have a new book coming out on the 7th, which is actually in 2 days. It's called Craved, and it's a contemporary romance. And it's the first of its series. It's a novella series. So 3 different stories kind of along the same line.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's all that I've got going.
Well, that is fine with me. I loved having you on the show. It was lovely. This conversation was very energetic, and it just brought a lot of attention to me as an author of how you are, and that just made me just crave. Let me stop with the puns. Just crave you as an author.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, this was nice. I would love to have you on the show again when that book comes out, so, you know, we can talk about that. And yeah, I love you. She loves you. Have a great night. We love you. Bye.